Hey horror fans, and welcome back to October Horror Fest. Today I'm going to review Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, aka Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers, aka Halloween 666: The Origin of Michael Myers. Halloween 6 was released on September 29th, 1995 on a budget of $5 million and managed to make $15,100,000. This marks the final film appearance of the late Donald Pleasence. Halloween 6 is known for so much behind-the-scenes problems. There are currently 5 versions of the film. The theatrical version, which is just a horror gore plot hole disaster. The director's cut, which is the same version just with extra gore and a few extra scenes. The producer's cut, which was the original version that we should have got in theaters, but thanks to a bunch of 14-year-olds we didn't. The work print or rough cut version, which is pretty much the same as the producer's cut but with a few extra scenes and unfinished effects. The TV version, which is a hybrid of the producer's cut and the theatrical cut put together. The film starts 6 years after Halloween 5. We see Jamie Lloyd being rushed into a birthing room with members of a cult. She gives birth to a boy and the child is taken away by the cult for a ritual, and Dr. Loomis does a voiceover speech which was removed and replaced in the theatrical version. Disrespectful pricks. We see a flashback back to Halloween 5, and Jamie and Michael are taken by the man in black. Jamie wakes up and a nurse hands her her baby and they hear Michael coming and make a run for it. Jamie escapes, but Michael kills the nurse. Michael also kills a truck driver who ignores Jamie's warnings. Jamie escapes, and in Haddonfield we see Danny Strode, who is having bad dreams and sees the man in black. His mother spotted Tommy Doyle from the first film that lives across the street spying on her with a telescope. Tommy talks to Barry Sims, who is doing a piece on Haddonfield, and thinks he's nuts. Dr. Loomis, who has had his scars removed, is retired and gets a visit from Dr. Wynn, who says he's retiring, and they hear Jamie on the radio asking for help. Jamie has a close call with Michael and manages to get away, but is run off the road by Michael. Okay, in the producer's cut, Michael only stabs Jamie and she will survive for a large portion of the film, but in the theatrical version, Michael kills her by use of farm equipment, which was a horrible end to her character. Also, a side note, Danielle Harris did not return to the Halloween series because they weren't willing to pay her, and this figure is debated $5,000 to $10,000, and frankly, that's a small price to pay to get her back. The next day, Dr. Loomis and Dr. Wynn are at Smith Grove and hear about Jamie and head to the scene immediately. The Strode family, who's living in the Myers house, is having a breakfast and a fight breaks out, and Kara's son Danny puts a knife at his grandfather, who's an asshole, and Kara takes the knife away and they leave. Dr. Loomis and Dr. Wynn arrive, and in the producer's cut we see Jamie being taken away on a stretcher, and Loomis has an argument with the new sheriff, who is extremely unhelpful and wants Loomis to leave and won't help him. Tommy figures out Jamie was at the bus station and finds her baby there. Michael stalks Kara at the college. Tommy talks to Dr. Loomis at the hospital, then is chased out by security. Dr. Loomis talks to Mrs. Strode and tells her what her husband has hid from her about Michael Myers, and in the producer's cut we see Jamie being operated on. Mrs. Strode has a chase from Michael Myers and unfortunately meets her end. Kara comes home and Tommy takes her and her son across the street and tells her about Michael. We see Jamie in the hospital in the producer's cut remembering impregnated by Michael. Yep, you heard me. The cult has Michael rape Jamie. The man in black kills Jamie with a silencer, and at least this ending was more worthy for this important character. Tommy explains Michael is under the control of an evil ruin. Tommy goes to the party at the college to meet up with Dr. Loomis. Mr. Strode comes home and Michael kills him, and I will admit I prefer the prick's death in the theatrical version over the producer's cut version. Barry Sims wants to see the Myers house and goes into the wrong van and meets his end. Tim Strode and his girlfriend Beth arrive at the house, and in the producer's cut, Michael watches them go upstairs. Tommy sees Barry Sims' body and Dr. Loomis arrives. Tim and Beth have sex, then he has a shower. And Michael kills him, and Kara tries to warn Beth, but Michael kills her too. Kara chases her son, who goes into the house and discovers her brother and best friend dead, and is chased by Michael, who she manages to knock down the stairs. Michael nearly breaks her ankle and then run with Michael in hot pursuit. They get in the boarding house and they learn the identity of the man in black, who is Dr. Wynn. Kara jumps out a window and is unconscious from the impact. Okay, here's the big difference in the story. Both endings take place at Smith Grove Warren County Sanitarium. In the producer's cut, the cults are in a room for a sacrificial ritual. In the theatrical version, the doctors are only pretending to be Thorn cult members so they can use Michael's DNA for projects. In the producer's cut, we see Dr. Wynn asking Dr. Loomis to join the cult order, and is knocked out before he could shoot Wynn. In the theatrical version, Dr. Wynn asks Loomis to join him on the dawn of a new age, and is knocked out. It should be known that Donald Pleasance had already died before these reshoots took place. In the producer's cut ending, Tommy rescues Kara and the baby, and they run from Michael, and Loomis gets the others to safety, and Tommy stops Michael by using Ruins of Light, a powerful ancient force that removes the evil from Michael. Dr. Wynn approaches Michael, and Michael, now himself after 32 years, since October 31st, 1963, is himself and attacks Wynn off-screen, angry for what they made him do. The group leaves and Dr. Loomis goes back in to confront Michael, but it's Dr. Wynn. Wynn puts the thorn symbol on Dr. Loomis, and Loomis screams, and we see Michael in disguise. And while Dr. Loomis looks in horror, Michael walks away. In the theatrical version, Tommy and Kara have a close call with Michael, who is shot with a weapon. Then they hear doctors talking about genetic experiments, and they avoid Michael again, and Michael, mad for being used, grabs a surgical machete and slaughters the doctors, with the exception of Dr. Wynn, who we can't be sure of actually dies. The group run with Michael in hot pursuit, and Michael takes a shortcut and catches up to the group. The group hides in a room where they see fetuses and thorn symbols, and Michael smashes through the door. Tommy hits Michael with tranquilizers and corrosives, and Michael throws Tommy after choking him. Kara hits Michael with a pipe, and Michael chokes her, but then goes after Danny. And Tommy hits Michael with more sedative and hits him with a pipe non-stop. They leave and Dr. Loomis stays behind. We see Michael's mask on the ground, but Michael gone, and we hear Dr. Loomis' scream. Okay, from what I can understand, the theatrical version is about the doctors pretending to be Thorn cult members, so they could use Michael's DNA to clone him and make a new evil version of Michael. Honestly though, the theatrical cut is a mess with no explanation, so many plot holes, it just doesn't work. Now, was it the scariest Halloween at the time? Yes, I will give it that. Producer's cut answered all the questions and had much better story, and while Dr. Loomis getting the thorn symbol has its problems, it does not mean Dr. Loomis would become evil. Some feel Michael being stopped by rocks is ridiculous, but it makes a lot of sense that something ancient would stop something ancient. There is a major push to get the producer's cut an official release, and on October 27, 2013, the producer's cut got a special screening in Los Angeles at midnight, and the audience reaction was overwhelmingly good, and the horror fan base universally liked the producer's cut better. In closing, hopefully the producer's cut will get an official release in the near future. If you want a good story, watch the producer's cut. If you want blood and guts, watch the theatrical or director's cut. Please tune in tomorrow as I discuss Halloween H2O 20 years later. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.